All right, welcome back, free radicals. My name is Dave, and this is the Radical Independent. Thanks for tuning in. I'm getting more and more independent each and every day. Just the way things are going, political parties are ridiculous, and the so-called leaders of these movements are just really fantastic, aren't they? It's a separate video, some stuff that went down at Mar-a-Lago, Trump's headquarters. Biden signed a bill recently, and apparently there was a celebration in Mar-a-Lago. All right, and that's all I'm going to say about this. I may have to do another video. And for those of you who don't really care and think that, the whole Sodom and Gomorrah thing isn't a big deal, I'm not with you. Just saying, I'm just not with you, especially when I see what's happening that's not being reported on. And speaking of things that aren't being reported on, at least in the proper context, this just in not too long ago, Franco Harris, the Hall of Fame running back whose Heads Up Thinking authored the Immaculate Reception, considered the most iconic play in NFL history, has died. He was 72 years old. Okay, now, again, you can pick apart how old people are when they die. 72 is not old. It's not the life expectancy. It's not old. And it seems to me that the new normal, the part of this new normal that we're all living through, where someone's age really shouldn't even be talked about when they die. Unless they're, 90, they lived a good life, and, well, that's all we can expect, Bob. That's all we can get out of them. 90, 85? Wow. Hank Aaron was what, 86? Yeah, Franco Harris, 72. Oh, by the way, no cause of death was given, according to his son, Doc, who spoke with the Associated Press, says his father died overnight. Now, what is kind of interesting here is that they were supposed to have a ceremony this Sunday at halftime to retire his number 32, and he was supposed to be there. So, for those of you thinking, oh, maybe he had one of those short illnesses, this is everywhere. I mean, I did a video on the other channel yesterday about 3 or 4 different musicians after a short illness. Remember when you'd get a short illness and then you'd be fine? Now you get a short illness and you're going to probably die, according to what the media is saying out there and how they portray this stuff. And everything is very hush-hush. Now, this is what irritates me almost as much as the idea that people are dying unnecessarily and in huge numbers. And I don't even talk about like the miscarriage rate right now, which one report said 4,000% increase in miscarriages, 4,000%. No big deal. Nothing to see here. Just move along, do some family planning, and, we'll figure this out eventually. Now, again, this report says his death comes just 2 days before the 50th anniversary of the play that provided the jolt that helped transform the Steelers into one of the NFL's elite teams, and just 3 days before they were supposed to retire his number 32. By the way, this was back when I used to watch football. I don't really watch a lot of football anymore. I try to catch maybe a Buccaneers game now and then, but that's because Brady is still playing. Once Brady retires, I'm not going to be interested in any of this stuff. I just think he's so old and he's like a throwback to a different era that it's just amazing that he's still out there. And he's not having a great year this year, but it's still interesting for me. And I know a lot of people hate Tom Brady. I don't really care all that much about football enough to care that you hate Tom Brady. That's pretty much how I'm thinking here. The point about all of this, here's a guy, 72, was a great athlete. So I'm thinking, because he was a great athlete for many years, he might have a little bit more longevity when it comes to, lifespan. He might have a bit longer to live than some of us who sit on the couch and eat Doritos all day. Maybe, maybe not. Oh, Dave, you're making a big deal about nothing. I get this on the other channel. Oh, these are just coincidences. Folks, he was supposed to do this thing on Sunday where they retired his jersey. He was going to be there. They don't mention it in the article, but he was supposed to be there. And yeah, when they retire your jersey and you're still alive, you get to go and see it. And people applaud and they cheer and they're happy. Nope, not going to happen. Here's a statement here. We have lost an incredible football player, an incredible ambassador to the Hall, and most importantly, we have lost one of the finest gentlemen anyone will ever meet. That's according to Jim Porter, who is the president of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Franco not only impacted the game of football, he also affected the lives of many, many people in profoundly positive ways. Now, I'm going to mention that Franco Harris was African American. All right, just putting it out there. And same with Hank Aaron. Hank Aaron was African American. He was very healthy when he went and took pictures and video for what he was doing for humanity, because this is all for humanity. According to Gene Simmons, this is, if you don't agree with this, then you're not for humanity. You know what's scary is that humanity is losing its soul. This entire thing makes me just want to vomit because nobody is concerned, including this platform that I'm on. If you were truly concerned about humanity and not just about a narrative, which is ridiculous that you're covering something up, why cover it up? Why do this? Because you don't have a soul. And to say this isn't enough anymore because people don't know what a soul is. Because, I don't know, maybe when they did this certain thing to themselves, it just removed what was left of their soul. And I'm hearing all kinds of other, I don't know, we have to continue to do this, and then we have to reintroduce another one. And you turn on a television show, like I got this channel on Roku, right? And I wanted to watch this one episode of the X-Files. Channel, I think, is called Freevee. Never had heard of it. I just did a search. Okay, where's the X-Files? Where can I go and watch it? And okay, so I get through, I don't know, 2 or 3 pharma commercials in a row, one recommending that if I'm not up to date, I need to get up to date right away. And this will work on things that haven't even, seen the light of day as of yet. In other words, new versions of this particular thing, right? Again, I'm doing the whole please don't ban my video, bro routine. Okay. But they know ahead of time. They know, they do predictive medicine. Like they can formulate something. Maybe they use AI. Maybe they've got, tarot cards. I'm not sure how they're doing it, but they know ahead of time how this is going to kind of mutate and do. Okay. So I think I made the point there. And I'm watching the advertising going, this show, which by the way, the episode that I wanted to watch is a critique, and it was predictive programming of everything that happened. You can go and watch, I think, from 2016. Trump wasn't even the president yet. And this had aired, and it was quite thought-provoking at the very least. And I would recommend trying to find it. I don't know the name of the episode. I don't know if it was the first. I think it was the first episode of the reboot of the show, The X-Files. Scully and Mulder. Okay. If you watched the show from the 90s, and I did, it's pretty addictive programming. And that might be a problem too. At this point, I can't trust anything. So I watch this and I think to themselves, either they knew, right? Either they knew ahead of time, or, they just used the data they had and kind of put together a scenario, which a lot of people have done over the years. David Icke be a guy who seemed to know in advance what was going to happen and has been proven right on a lot of things. And people just don't want to admit that. They just think this is all some big coincidence. But you have this high profile athlete, beloved athlete. If you're from the Pittsburgh area, this is a big deal. And he's gone right before they were going to retire his jersey. And rather than asking questions as to what happened to Franco Harris, what happened to him, it's going to be crickets. It's going to be, oh, it was a short. No, there wasn't a short illness. He died overnight, according to his son. 72. Well, he was 72, Dave. Probably had a lot of comorbidities. Come on, man. Just, leave this alone. No, I'm not leaving it alone. I'm not. And who's to say what's causing some of the other problems, like the cancer and the other things that are happening to people out there? Cancer is exploding. So what's causing cancer to explode? What's causing the aggressive nature of the cancer? I mean, these are questions that in a normal pro-human society, we would ask. But now, what are we doing? Oh, gee, look over here. Oh, Christmas is here. Oh, have a holly jolly Christmas, Dave. I'm not having the holly jolly Christmas. I'm hoping my 8-year-old has a holly jolly Christmas, but I'm having a crappy Christmas. You know why? Because I'm watching the world completely fall apart, culturally, politically. I can go down a list of things. For you Trump fans that went after me in the Trump video I did, do you know who went to Mar-a-Lago the other day? Biden signed this bill, right, to codify something, which was, by the way, already a law. And as a libertarian, you do what you want with your life. That's the way I look at it. Okay? Doesn't mean I'm going to celebrate. Doesn't mean I'm going to be like, ooh, this is really great for society. No, I think people have rights, and it's in the Constitution, and you don't need to codify rights that already exist. And then, you have the court rule on something. Guess what Trump was celebrating? Trump was celebrating what Biden was celebrating. So for those of you a little bit more on the religious side of the argument who think, I don't know, people have rights and so forth, but maybe you shouldn't have a big celebration of it. That's all I'm saying. I'm for everybody having equal rights, not special rights, equal rights, okay? You do your life over there. Just leave me out of it. Please leave me out of it. That's where I'm at right now. But anyway, you Trump fans, I watched a video yesterday. I think it was on True News. It just blew my mind. I'm like, this is the guy, this is why his top spiritual advisor is like Kenneth Copeland. It's just like, what? Paula White, what are you doing? Anyway, so I went way off track here, but this is all related because that's the father. That's Operation Warp Speed. That's the dad, the granddad of Operation Warp Speed. And everybody's just going to look the other way. Oh, I'm MAGA. Great. You know what? I'm MAFA, Make America Free Again. Make America Free Again. That's where I'm at. MAFA. Not as catchy as MAGA, but not too different. I would rather have, I've got one, Make America Anti-War Again. Not as catchy, but more appropriate. And how about let's have medical freedom in America again? I can go down a list of things that are more important, but people are, I guess, more concerned about, the holiday season. And a lot of people are depressed during the holidays. A lot of people don't like to go through the holidays. They represent negativity because they lost a loved one and they can't be with them, or maybe it happened at that time. How do you think the family of Franco Harris is going to remember the Christmas season going forward. And why did that have to happen? It didn't. Probably didn't have to happen. Oh, but Dave, you don't know for sure. You're right. I don't know for sure. So we have billions of dollars being sent to a foreign country so they can fight a war which violated the Minsk agreement. They can go and just do that. And we're, again, this latest budget, 1.7 trillion. Are you serious? Okay, so we have this money, right, that we could use for other things. Or better yet, we could stop printing money so we wouldn't have to jack interest rates up, so we wouldn't have to destroy the economy. I mean, there are lots of things that you have to put together here. But you could do a massive investigation. You could have the government do the investigation. The problem is the government's in on it, so they're not going to investigate themselves. But they've got billions of dollars that you could get, and all the information you could run. You know how they're doing the J6 thing? You could run an investigation. What happened to Franco Harris? What happened to Hank Aaron? What happened to Bob Saget? People don't care. They're gone. Okay, gone and forgotten. The soul of this country is just, it's evaporating. And you could say pretty much of all Western countries, not just America, but especially here in the West, we are soulless people. And as I watch other soulless people talk about these things, I think to myself, you know what? I'm a Christian. Jesus, anytime you want to come back. Something's got to change, and there's no political solution to the problem. There's no judicial solution to the problem. There's a secret executive branch. And by the way, if you're going to challenge me on who's making decisions, military, whatever, there are people either at the Pentagon or at the NSA or at wherever making decisions. DARPA is the spookiest group of people on planet Earth. All right. And I don't know if it's the last administration before Trump, if it's, Valerie Jarrett who's pulling the strings, Susan Rice. Guess who's not pulling the strings right now? The senile guy. All right. And by the way, when Trump was president too, other people said you can only go so far. I see what you're trying to do. You can only go so far. The current occupant, they're just like, yeah, just say this and he'll just say that. And until we fix that problem, and I may have the chain of command a little off, or I may speak more generically than some people. The devil is always in the details, and people love to correct you on details. Everybody, for the most part, who is awake understands that the three branches of government right now aren't functioning the way they're supposed to. And something else has superseded those branches of government. Can we at least get to that point? And by the way, this also is tied to this story at the beginning with Franco Harris, because the medical establishment continues to cover for itself, and the government continues to cover for the medical establishment, and that money goes back and forth, and we're all sitting here going, okay, so what's happening? And nobody can do an investigation? We can't get billions of dollars to do an investigation, or even just millions. Drop in the bucket compared to all the weapons that are being sent to Ukraine. This is ridiculous. So I know, here's the thing. Franco Harris died from nothing to see here. Great football player, beloved athlete, is gone. 72. He didn't have at least 10 years left on this planet, 20 years left on this planet. I mean, didn't we used to shoot for a longer life expectancy? Wasn't that a goal? We're going to live longer. We're going to be productive. We're going to be healthy. Now, there's no goal to live longer. In fact, it seems like it's just the opposite. Bill Gates was out there saying, hey, if we do everything right, we can reduce the population by How many billion people? If we do everything right, Bill, just that phrase alone. Okay, so what you're saying is we have too many people, useless eaters here. Too many useless eaters. Folks, I get depressed. I really get depressed. I go into like moments where I have to kind of turn it off and pull the plug and just listen to some music of some kind. The other day I had like classical Baroque music on. The guy who has the channel talking about music that, is a bit louder. Yeah, I'm going back to like, Bach and, Vivaldi, whatever. It's just we're in dark days. They said dark winter. Remember when Biden said a dark winter? Well, he was only off by a year. I mean, you can look at it and say the dark winter started, that winter where we went from Trump to Biden, went from bad to worse. And yeah, the economy, way better under Donald Trump. But if you think Donald Trump is your savior, that this is going to get better because we're going to, again, switch presidents, and you've got the father of Operation Warp Speed coming back who won't admit anything, who won't take responsibility for any of it, you're going to hire that guy back? Hey, you know what? It's third party time for me. It's third party, or why bother to vote? Libertarian Party, Constitution Party, whatever it is that you think is at least more your speed and more real, even if it doesn't have a snowball's chance. And yeah, we have this other little issue where we've got machines that are hooked up to the internet. Yeah, it's nothing to see here. You had a whole bunch of Democrats back in 2016 complaining about machines all day long. Congressional hearings, Kamala Harris complaining about machines, but you can't talk about machines anymore. Or they'll just say, hey, it was the safest and securest. Is that right? Most secure? Most secure election ever. Okay, fair enough. Let's just move on then. Worry about your family, because there's nothing we can do. And that's the sad thing. And again, I think my overarching point is like the loss of humanity, like the literal loss of the human soul. Because if you don't care, if this doesn't seem weird to you, if the whole, hey, after a short illness, he died, or hey, he was asleep, next day he's not here anymore. Okay. Oh, he was 72, man. He lived a hard life. Really? I mean, yeah, during his football years, but he's been retired now for what, 30 years or something? Probably longer, 35 years? Franco Harris? No. What are you talking about, man? I'm sure he has had a pretty good life in his retirement. So I wonder if we can find out if Franco had been to CVS or Walgreens. Or had someone, maybe he did his own stuff. I'm thinking at a certain age, you can, run around in public and people don't know who you are, especially a football player who's been retired for a number of years. But, maybe he had someone else do it for him. Either way, I wonder. Nobody will ask that question, though. Nope, it's not going to be even mentioned in any of the articles. It'll just be, wow, this is too bad. So sad. See you later, Franco. That's it. Anyway, that's it for my video. Asking questions. Ask some damn questions, people. Everybody. The media, the government. It's all like just a train wreck. And they're just blocking. They're blocking and social media platforms. Even if I'm wrong, I still have the right to be wrong. That's the new difference between what we used to be able to do. If we wanted to speculate about, say, like the JFK assassination, we like to say, hey, there was a conspiracy behind the JFK assassination. And then it turns out, yes, there really was a conspiracy surrounding the JFK assassination. Apparently it was the CIA. And people have been saying that for how long? Oh, tinfoil hats for sale. Get your tinfoil hats right here at the Radical Independent. I should have little hats I can sell to people made out of tinfoil. And just put it, like if you have a video, you can put it in the shot behind you. There's my tinfoil hat. Or you can wear it proudly when you go to Walgreens later on. Yeah. Oh man, I'm out of here.